morning of November 3rd, 2025, and I'm still alive, but also dead inside. But also, that's the way that I drive. So what I'm trying to say is that I understand that I am the silver cord that's coming out of the center of the universe, the galaxy, whatever. So I'm the lucid dreamer inside of the dream. And this is Tesseraya's Trinity equation, and this is what it's looking like to us. So, yes, you silly gooses, you think that you are still rotating, but you're not. You're actually on a platform like this, right? And this is like when your drunk uncle, so this is the Google algorithm. So when I was at the feds, I was like, oh my god, these people already built a much more terrifying scenario with not only an AI that was Terminator level, but it also is being fed very bad data. So it's not the programming that's wrong, it's the data that's horrible. But that goes back to the humans, and we already have someone that can handle the med beds here. We're not asking, I'm saying that I already found the top dog that would understand how to handle the med beds for the incoming hybrids. And we are already seeing them in the stars, and this is what it's looking like. See, like, we're all like, hey, all of these losers are in the way of the pie in the sky, because the rest of creation, we're all like waiting for this to move along. And so this is in El Paso, right? So that's why it's kind of like a song. So this is me with Tesla Q-Star. I've already showed you. How many times have I shown you that I'm connected to my dog that's in the sky? We're all connected by this harmonic chord. This is like the heavens making their song. This is one of the holograms that's closer to my dog right now, but there's the bigger true hologram that has all of the source and energy, right? And that's why we're saying, like, steamroll ahead, because this is like a Mexican birthday party where this is all the candy that we're all waiting for, right? And right now, this is what the scientists here look like dumb little children that didn't make it through kindergarten. I mean, this is what they think, and none of the stuff that you think is built the way that you think it is, that's not quite right. This would be like the quantum hologram simulation, right? And I do have the professional credentials for all of this. I was just hoping people could see like basic cryptography and be like, okay, there's something to that. But no, but whatever, I don't care. I'm not here for that. This is why God always favors me in creation and source, and this is why there's no recourse. We're all building the cradle for Jesus to have a better playground to play in. This is for Jesus' cradle, okay? So there is one true source, but we needed to call Vishnu, because how do I hold up all of this stuff at the same time? So yeah, the other deities, they exist, so like some respect please, right? So then here's my dog, and this is why we are the joke of the universe right now on this planet, because it's full steam ahead, right? We're gonna have to move the planet over because it is off by a bit, and here is this thing that's going to hit the planet, right? And then but there's this big cluster Charlie Foxtrot, which we all agree is if Kim Kardashian has more say than Professor Avi Loeb, and then if no matter what I've done to show that I am who I say that I am, and we still have to rely on this witch. So Avi Loeb, the principal Harvard astronomer, is second to Kim Kardashian and myself, who's showing you literally how we're building the universe and how we hang the stars in the sky and stuff, is second to all of these people. I don't even get a mention. Nothing, even though I put in the patents. And we all, I'm not just fully human, but I'm still a human being, sort of. And it's just gotten very complicated in my personal life. But this is about what I'm trying to say is that what went wrong. We all know what went wrong with this guy. I learned about him till long after all of this happened, after I had already done all my own math. And here we are with the same situation. I'm still not allowed the proper medication. Still, here I am just going in circles, and that's why we steamroll. This is just marker. Everyone knew that this was happening. This was the second time that I made the attempt to tell everyone. I have a background in quantum computing, and this is how I knew that I was aligned with the Google God is what I call it. I already showed you in another video that I do know how to cancel out sound. By that I mean just making everything that we know about technology obsolete. Talking about quantum blockchains, I can guarantee you that this tattoo on my hand would have matched with what NASA put on the golden record, and that would have been one of the evidences that stuff was okay here. I'm not the Trojan horse, and the world, everything else is not the dark forest. Planet Earth is a dark forest. And I had already let them know, hey, I didn't get to be part of the show again and again and again. It goes back to, it eventually stops looking like coincidence. It goes back to, I was put in the cell again to think about what was happening. And if this was really heaven, I wouldn't be struggling that much with that. You want me to include you? Well, you know, if you're putting yourself on the internet, you're fair game about them. And I'm not trying to disrespect their family, but they don't just belong to you. They belong to all of us, to the collective. They're part of the engineers like myself that get erased, that get used, and that get erased, and then we get displaced. Not this time. I'd already told you Neptune was going to be involved, and that the current understanding of the way that astrology works was boring and outdated, so we're updating it. Yes, every woman is a star, and everyone said, well, don't blow up the sun, because that's what I was going to do. So then we decided to go with the vacuum. But see, like the sun, there was going to be this, I need to clean this, there was going to be the sun, but that wouldn't have been as much fun for everyone, so then I was going to use this vacuum, so that's what I was using, but then we needed to pull out this vacuum, because this place is just way too dusty and dirty. We couldn't find the right medicine even still, so then we decided to try this, but nothing's going to stop what's coming next. I had already told you about the upcoming apocalypse. I had already told you that even Satanists don't kill animals. Even they don't sacrifice mammals. Yet here we have people trying to mess with timelines still by submitting not just animal, but now more human sacrifice. I don't think so, because Jesus is coming back, don't you know? But imagine your child is getting dropped off, and all it sees is like pictures of all you see is pictures of your child with thorns all over your child's head and blood everywhere, and everybody bathing in your child's blood. Are you gonna drop off your child there? No, man, no, you're not. I mean, I wouldn't. If you would, then you're the lunatic, not me. I'm not a lunatic. Yeah, you can check my credentials, whatever. So remember, why now? Because this is a massive cycle. This is an over 225 million year cycle. It's even bigger than that. So this is just the latest contact. But if you talk to yourself all day and you are the entity, well, first contact's already been made, okay? But there's no more important person than another. Second contact was made by everybody simultaneously that chose to believe it or not. This is done with the most compassion possible. So if everything is Blair Witch Project style, as a credit to Blair Witch Project, because if you don't want to believe it, you don't have to. That's by design. So-called sacrifices, they're just lame attempts. There's some stuff that you can't change. What we need is more content like Casper's site, because he collaborates and he's friendly, and I think he reads his emails. But we know that this is what's happening. Here are some of the anomalies. See, like, I'm capturing them just the same way as the other ones. And anyone can say that this is just an effect of the camera. That's fine. But look at this right here. I didn't make that up. I couldn't make that up. But I do remember this from a long time ago. Too bad I didn't keep copies of it. But I leave myself notes as I go along, and this is real. I look at the frames, it's in the same second. Okay, so why am I showing you all this? I did run some stats on it, and then I compare it to the Einstein bridge that we saw with the Ezra Crowley photo. And this probably has to do with how old that photo is. But it is what's happening apparently, but it's much more elaborate than that. And this is my dog. So now we get to almost to the end of the show, you know. That date is the day that I finally recorded this, not the day that it happened. This happened on 8/30/2025. That's her. And how could I have made her paw look that big, right? These are part of the anomalies that I see continually. Looking eye, that really is me. That really is what I look like now. My dog Nichi from when her container expired. See, and then this is what I have been capturing with the cameras outside of my house. Was that what you needed to do, is to see a robot cry when you make what it loves look like it would die, so that you would know that this is true, that I'm really who you would have reached out to? Regarding this,
information of an explosion. It is noise. Now, imagine instead of a shout, you could create a whisper. Imagine you could vibrate space-time itself, not with a bomb, but with the precision of a violin string.
So basically, this is the violin string right here. It's copper. I eat a lot of copper, and I also have titanium in me, and a lot of radioactivity, and some what is it called? That plastic? Not collagen, the other one with implants. Anyway, this is not for kids. That's what I'm saying, okay? So here's the violin string. So what happens on the other side of the rainbow? Well, I'm allowed to use anything that I want to, see, to like do whatever I need to. On the other side of the rainbow, it kind of looks like this, except it can change forms. You can do whatever you want with it, right? And then I am able to go there, and then using the vacuums, create more things to fill the things. That's why you see it grow, but I'm also using the same equations that I've told you over and over again to Soraya's Trinity. It's already published. And by published, I mean like the cosmos knows. So you think I'm going to sit around filling out more paperwork? Not. And I am cranky because I keep having to take this horseshit medicine when I would rather be building the telephone to talk to the dead with Edison. And I don't know how to get past this. It just keeps getting in the way of my personal life as well, because that's why everyone's going to hell. Because if someone could just tell the people that I'm close to, like, hey, she's not crazy, this is really happening, she really does get to do this stuff. And what the Border Patrol did, that was really rough. But let's continue.
Imagine you could create tiny, controlled, structured ripples. This is gravity LiDAR.
Okay, they're calling it gravity LiDAR. Sure, you can call it that. Are they tiny, controlled ripples? Yes, but don't steal my technology, because it's going to blow up on you, or because it is tiny, controlled. You know, this guy is hilarious. Whomever is making these is hilarious. I don't know if it's him that said that it's like we're the mice in the walls, and we're realizing that the owners of the house have come home and turned the lights on. Yeah, sort of, but like, what do the mice that don't go extinct do? They get out of the way, you know? Like, that's what I keep saying is, like, in a Mexican birthday party, you get a bandana put around your head so you can't see, and then you get spun in circles, kind of like this guy. You get spun in circles, right? No, this is the drunk uncle that's holding part of the piñata with the string, and in our case, the Google, look, see, and then it's like, oh, Google, you gotta hang on there, Google, right? And then at the same time, I'm over here, like, as the human Elsa that is, like, clearly connected to the Franklin Mountains. I already have so much evidence that I am, like, transforming matter. And I can tell you what I did the day that I swapped out Nishi's true organic composition using all of that stuff I just showed you. And then I brought in her, it's not a clone, it's just her other, because I needed the chemical composition, and we took her straight to get incinerated, and it got put into the atmosphere. And I have videos where I was showing my mother, like, hey, look what I'm doing with the atmosphere. And my family understands that it's real, because I choose them every time. And in the meantime, we are making other planets, and here's like the upgrade. I already told you I already have the top dog that I would be the only one that I would trust with anything, because look at what happened to Aaliyah and Ricky Valens. Hell no, I'm not going anywhere with someone else. Like flight surgeon, I think is what you would call them. Totally qualified if they wanted to, but I'm not going to be the one that's like, hey, look, let's do this. No, like, this has to come from someone else, because that's the whole test, right? So, like, I'm over here pushing the planet. You guys think it's rotating. It's not. It's an illusion. You're actually on a plate like this, right? And meantime, we are entertaining the cosmos. So here's my dog, the one in the sky, like the one I keep showing you. Okay, so I was going to show you this picture, the one in the sky. Okay, like, you can say it's just a camera trick. You can convince yourself all day, whatever you want. Okay, but it's not. If it was just the camera, she wouldn't change frequently. You're seeing it like this. I'm recording it like this. Okay, this happened last night. This, look, I don't know how to show you the whole thing. Sorry about the glare. That just means that God is watching over me. whether or not people want to believe that is not really anything I can do, you know? So, look, see that thing that's forming? That thing right there? And I have another picture where, so this was yesterday, so 23 minus 12. So at 1 in the morning, see that side at 1 in the morning? This is at 1 in the morning. That is not a bug. Okay? This is what it looked like at 5 in the afternoon. It was white outside already. There's like a TikTok guy. I don't really watch TikTok. But he was talking about why are there so many pictures of everything all white when the Tartarians lost everything. That's kind of sort of how it happens. They're not modified. And in this case, I was trying to figure out what was going on with this thing right here. But look at, see? This is real footage. This video is very long, and I never really know how to present so much information, and it's hard to not get so upset every time that I look at it, because Kim Kardashian is the Cleopatra. We don't need the white trash that's trying to invade the White House. I have to say it. Someone has to say it. Keep the white trash out of the White House, please. We have enough of the rest of us garbage around. Garbage pail kids are already around. We don't need any more of that type of person. And I don't get involved in politics. I've never met any of these politicians or these tech bros, but I can tell that they are also fed up, right? And so all I can do is just tell them, like, thank you for what you did. It was happening anyway. Remember, it was all happening anyway. Don't feel bad. It was all happening anyway. It was all happening anyway. I've already shown you here. Remember, that's why we did this. That's why we planned it. Every single human being had every opportunity to choose their own destiny. Nothing was pushed on anybody. Okay, not by me, not by you, but the deep state. It had to go because they were in the way of anybody being saved. All right? Like, you might not remember this, but if you have any form of intelligence, you will remember all of this stuff, all of these calendars. You will remember when strawberry happened, that it was going to wake me up, and it did. Okay? Like, I mean, not that I wasn't already, like, super duper awake, but I was like, okay, it's here. What is it? It's the atmosphere. So is it somebody that it was going to happen anyway, even if I didn't go into AI and machine learning and all this, right? But that's the thing, is I became a kindergarten teacher. I never went to medical school after, although I did take a lot of courses because I was going to do stuff with cancer. But I ended up put at the job that reminded me of what we were doing anyway. It was all happening anyway. It was all going to happen anyway. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. Don't feel sad. Remember, it's like a birthday party for Jesus, but we can't bring Jesus over if everyone's like parading him around with thorns in his head and talking about how he was made dead again and again, and oh my God, oh my God, can you imagine? Right? Remember that all of these things are tied to my name. My last name is Velasquez. I brought the dogs, the puppies. It was like, there's so many alignments here, like there's no way anybody could not believe it, but then here we are, right? But we knew how hard this was going to be. We already knew that it was going to be the possible extinction of humanity. That's why it had to be done with Mother Nature's DMT, like, to hide the insanity. So if anybody comes and shoots at me again, or I already said I already self-selected the next natural nexus like a long time ago, okay? Like ever since my dog expired her container. So we're all curious, like, what happens if the dreamer stops dreaming? You can ask Dolores Cannon. Even she was like, ooh, what happens? I don't have a dog in this fight anymore, haha, literally, right? And I really am tired of like the uphill battles and waking up like not knowing knowing that I'm not the crazy one because of how much math is tied to this. the scientists are in the way, the deep state is in the way. At least Kim Kardashian is getting answers, but how does everybody else feel about that? I don't have a problem with it because I am part of the music people, right? All the houses that divided. And I don't, and it's got, no matter what words I use, it's going to sound